Hello. Wow, it looks so pretty with the flags. Well, the word of the week is beauty. Monday, 10th of April of the year 2023. And the second week of the month talks about what is insight. Every week of the month, every first week of the month talks related to what's vibrating. The second week about what is inside. The third week of the month about what's the structure, and the fourth week about the scene, what's around. It's part also of a sequence between months. So, well, don't know how to present myself. I'm still working on myself until this year is over. For the words of the week, um, is an example for role play into virtual reality. Very random to have a global idea of how it works, because it will later open your mind to see how is the system. So I live here in a studio, and these plants here are new. I put this here. I also have in the attic. I rotate everything on every season because, like, now is a bit of a garden house, and I put my queen's bed up in under these two windows that are in the roof, so the sun gets to the seeds that are already big sprouted. These ones are the cabbage. Oh, well, there are more here. Downstairs, I moved the sunflowers. And but I don't know. I love the cabbage because it entangles itself and goes down, and it just grabs itself with this twirling. Yeah, it's not part of the branch. It gets out and it twirls. It hangs, and sometimes the leaves grows really huge, like displaced like that, depending of the sunshine. And I have tried put in the backyard, but for some reason it rains too much in April. To the even I wanted them to grow up in a gate. They took the gate as well. So, well, that is beautiful gardening for me. So the garden is also like an interplay in the scenarios that you get to move around. Um, that is beautiful because everything that we relate, which makes us feel beautiful, and we're all different. Some of us like to struggle and overthink or let the mind be soothing away in spaces of emptiness and being words. So, well, there is a play where one sometimes risks, and one doesn't just create a story and a narrative. It is not just for virtual reality. In the world fantasy and fiction, which people can learn the boundaries and how important it is to understand the relation between boundaries and how people that are the majority in this world have no understanding towards how, because maybe it's the first generation where people are starting to see in internet what's outside their own boundaries. So it is normal. So wishing peace in the world, and for all the leaders in the world to celebrate with a commemoration, for every person who has a head and a crown to feel their inner authority towards their own surrounding as well, which is beautiful. I miss my children. I wish I could support them. I wish my work can flow through them, and it, my work can provide to so many people. So there are some white man in between. Um, these people have the capacity to provide the system to move ahead. The thing is that maybe I don't have very good relations. I don't know. I don't know why no one is coming to me face to face to talk with, so it can start rolling. There is nothing to wait for. So I cannot provide fantasies to anyone. So one has creation because one has studied for it, because one doesn't find any job or work for it. One simply has done it because of one's own interest. It doesn't mean that it's free. Even if one has invested and put everything on it, which it takes a lot. It takes a lot to get there. So I keep firm, firm, firm. So it can benefit everyone in the world. Everyone. No one is left. So it doesn't matter if some people don't like others because of this and that, and the other one don't like others because of that one. This has nothing to do with politics. It is part of governments, since governments need to take care of their citizens. In every talent and beauty, you will find some precautions. There are limits to everything. There are measures so it can enhance human intelligence and human interaction and sharpen people's instinct, psychic, and relationship through values. I cannot really open up towards anything because everything gets out of the direction of affairs and it just goes into the illusory world, which most of these people invest all their energy in marketing, in doing business, in making believe to make things. But 80% or 85, 87 goes into the art of business, which is marketing, most of it. Yeah. So they have fun and artistic thing, but it's all selfish. It's all towards creating illusion towards their own product. And the problem is they have fun with it. They get away with pleasures. They misunderstand what is what when it comes to, for example, someone who doesn't represent anyone or anything but my work. And then he really like, wow, they could have invested on this when I was in my space 19 years ago. And then Facebook started it. I was very angry when people started to go to Facebook. I knew it was going to be damnation towards the creativeness of what we were doing. And I was very upset. I remember, well, I was in Venezuela, in Caracas, in the oasis of my mother, in Calle Roraima, in the Quinta Ileana. I was pissed off. I was banging the table and saying, swearing. I remember what I was swearing because that was a long time ago, but I remember exactly where, in the house. And I knew it. I knew it was going to become a barrier because it had a completely different design. So, and then later through time, I thought, well, okay, that's gonna just be the real world and separated fantasy world characters. So many stories happen. Like a lot has to change. A lot has happened. A lot has happened. Um, we get to create in different ways and forms. I had so many friends in roleplay. The people start to make their own platform to roleplay after MySpace was the design was broken out. So you cannot change some people. You cannot tell people stop hacking. You don't need to do that. Yeah, but people need other people. So I was watching all the movements and I gave them roles, positions, and I would, because you learn role playing, and there are other forms of teaching each other through play, just in right there in the play. Never tell people what to do. It's a totally different concept. Yet there are some rules and there is a system to it. So well, I could be right now in a board explaining it to someone so it can get into computer engineering. And there are a lot of ideas that I have for how interactions play within one's brain as well. Because what I have pushed very far into relating back and forth with stories. Yeah, and the thing is that when you're out of yourself in a character, you get to understand the mechanics better than if you're just doing it for self marketing because you always have the product. But when you have gone beyond, way beyond yourself, beyond this world, beyond products, beyond any reality, even realities that has never existed. So you dive into unknown, a lot of many, 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 many kilometers and many years light of unknown to understand the water that remains there and how you categorize within your brain because you want the story to move on. Every role player and form of intelligence from any character will want the story to move on. You cannot say, I will block you. Of course, we have blocked and deleted many ones. There are so many people that just sometimes you don't feel like explaining anything, or you just leave it like that. There are so many seasons in the world of roleplay where you get to experiment and learn from different fields. So the beauty of meeting with the unknown or another's creativity is not just like that. So depending for which field as well, that you are being part of. I don't know what plant here is because the plants that I had to move away to, so the other one's going to the sun, are all you cannot see them, but I can see them right here. So these plants smell because they have like a they have this water this water that is, well, this is a bottle of water, so it's been cut. This water here smells like clogged, but it's good to get the musk. But I never smelled it before. Now today. So well, I think Christian religion, even though I could feel this the world thing, because one gets really into the pain and all this liberation and relief, but every year is really so. Because we have all these characters from the Bible, and Jesus has made its main role. It'd be nice to move forward into a third testament where because you have to put also what happened in these 2000 years as well, right? What happened in these 2000 years as well? Oh, it's just, just put it like that and say, scientists cannot figure out really what happened with the Genesis. They call it Big Bang, but it's still a theory, can't be proven. That's true. They talk about it like if it's real. So the same thing happens when you have these stories or you're so involved with marketing your own. And the system that I have that is for virtual reality in the fantasy world, it can also help for people in real life to move prosperity faster. Believe it or not. Government is needed because every government needs to own the information of their own people and the data of the characters that have been written as historical characters who have existed, that have been writing as fictional characters, to get all the traits for each universe, because each character, under my formula, proven, you can go and prove it again, you can go against the wall, hit yourself, but each universe can only have a unique character. This for the bank of the data of every fictional character that each country has created, and to be gathered from their national library, from their librarians, is very important to categorize also the race, the culture, the fusion, the stories. We can enter into other worlds to study and to play, to teach and learn. But this is something that can only go through transparency and sincerity, so its foundations can last forever and never be copied. Because the problem of divisions and copies, which are part of the biology of this planet Earth, or in all our differences, that's what makes us unique. There is a very strong mechanism that pushes us to be different and fight for it. But at the same time, we carry the copy of what we're living from and make another language, make another form out of it to survive or exist as a defense mechanism, or however. To understand that this cannot be copied in the world, because it will break the tissue of virtual reality or for each universe. I believe this should be free unless it has already gone into that, something I will talk later on, because there is there are so many themes I cannot talk about, because I am not sharing open verse. I need to get paid for my work to exist and for my vital rights. So it is not an obsession. This is the career of all my life and investment. So I have not gotten too far, because there is nothing. What they have done is taken my initiative for the metaverse with the infinite and made my law theirs, that no one should copy it by law, because each universe is unique with each character. They can make other universe with other laws, but it's a collaboration from everyone that leads their tree as well, to help in the artistic way for the imaginary world, where we can read and study infinitely as a form of entertainment. Not just watching movies, will be part of creating. And on the other side, making a better world with the simplicity of life. We can kill each other online, virtually, on fantasy, depending of your settings. If you're open to dangers, But all those who risk and take danger, I mean, you can program everything and have everything prepared and everything safe. But at the same time, if you don't take that risk, if you do not invest in it, of course, you have to know the weather, the climate, the conditions, the probabilities. By experience and knowledge, you more or less know how are the pronostics moving, not even how much force you put. Sometimes it doesn't work. So stories that repeat and repeat can always be safe because they does the same story. So people can get to enjoy the different forms of creation. And I look like this comic you have to find in a big city. Yeah, I guess the stripes are maybe red. Has glasses. So well, you know where to find me. Um, a friend of this world. Um, I know it's difficult to just be a normal person for some people who have this way of being and they're very attached to believe whom they are in their private or and in the public, and they only have these two or three faces. Yeah, they have another character, their other way of being online because they have other characters to promote their own self, or with their families or partners, whatever. uh, and this is something that it takes one's breath away because you've never been there before. So you're going to take all these rules and the system and convert it into everything that is yours, of yours. So one needs the best mathematicians in this world to come together and think how are the tech giants going to come together from the world, but I mean just a few. Why I like Macintosh? Because I like the Apple. They don't have any platforms. There is there is there are many computer systems and softwares, but one has to admit the in this present time the world needs to come together. We need to be sincere. We need to be sincere with the potential that we have. Chinese also have a power that Americans don't want them to have so much coverage with the media. But the Americans too have to be honored for the best people of the world who has gone to America. And Americans have to understand that these are people from the world. So at the same time, it's kind of like how I know and I can guarantee and I can assure you I can return everything back. You can just take your time back. You're not gonna lose anything, but I can guarantee you that these mathematicians will be able to conform the numeric of the percentage of how is it gonna be for the. This has nothing to do with world domination, but the tech giants of the world. I represent South America and Spain, Hispanity. So At the same time, my percentage is for mansions into villages. That's something that, as any government that has percentage for taxes, I represent what I want to do with mansions into villages, which is another mathematical design for any person that has a lifetime work and wishes to make their mansion into a village, their own property in an evolving country, or could be Canada. Canada has a lot of problems as well that people from another world could understand how to target its solution better. Because, for example, Canadians are too nice, so they cannot go into the roots of evil of drug addiction, and the many people that live for welfare, from welfare for 4 generations, because people are too nice. So they're creating 3% of people in British Columbia, 2.8, that would be 28% of people live from mental illness check, because every generation learns how to, but this slows the mental health of and the society as well, because they become slow minded. So any person from another part of the world could do a mansion into a village in places where Canada needs, because Canadians are not capable of solving their own problems, because they created those problems. Like all the young drug addicts living in the streets with crystal meth and now these other drugs killing itself in a first world country. They are not interested in the mature world or in being perfect at all. So there is no spirit. I used to talk with them and say, in other countries, if you renounce to society, you are a yogi, you are a monk, you're a Buddhist, you become a nun or a priest. Some beggars, they walk even in the Christian world. They don't. It's not that they renounce the church, but they make a greater renunciation, like Maria Teresa of Calcutta, and they just walk the streets alone like a beggar and start from scratch, from pure trust in the unknown of God. I mean, there are many levels to it. The problem in Canada that this form of renunciation doesn't exist because everyone is the same. You can see it kilometers and kilometers. Everything is there's no other choice but that. So that's the only choice they have, to be different. Um, the easy way of getting enlightened with chemicals, but it has the worst consequences. It brings a glimpse into enlightenment, but it's not it. It's not the highest potential of your natural chemicals. So people are addicted to internet as well. And this time of human progress, we needed to disconnect from the past and just get to see what's there on the internet from every point and angle of this world. We wanted unconsciously to feel and think differently by mere curiosity. Not because we carry so much trauma and we don't want to be this anymore, but it's another type of renunciation, unconsciously. So one has to understand the reasons of internet, not just as an addiction only, but where are we running away from and where we want to go. And why are you waiting so long? Why are you holding back so much? What are you afraid of? You know it's gonna go very fast, and then you gotta put all these clues in the way, and these laws. Which ones have to be categorized first and analyzed, so it becomes a law that is legal to prevent from such and such. So how is it possible that you make something and everybody can copy it? Where are the international laws for it? Where is everyone's agreement for it? Because you have the greatest industry and you are ahead. So you can relax more once these laws have been adjusted, so everyone can understand anything that's been copied and stolen. They are automatically targeted to pay. And the company who has created this owns automatically what they did. And if they created one little bit of that, they only own that little bit of that. So for example, I have created this formula. Yeah, you met the people, Bill Gates and the guy from Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, they should own only a little bit of that. But my percentage is for all the world, because I am the creator of what today was named the metaverse, which is the multiverse. And it's not only the timeline of each verse in a universe, but it's also the emotional upper world of the heavenly earth, which is from the angels, the metaphysical entities and characters, and the underworld, not only of the Christian and biblical, but also of other mythologies. But each one is a verse of its own, of course. They can interrelate, but they are there is a lot of structural works there. I appreciate to start with this as soon as possible. And I don't want anyone making money from me. I have 3 children and I have my own life, and I don't like to struggle because this should start rolling already. And that is the beauty when the energy flows, like this water that is stagnated. There is so much abundance in this world. There is abundance in this world to generate once you feel the energetical impulse of the people relating through stories, but all being creative and genius as well. I'm being very activated with power that is nearly crazy. It's like enraging, and it is at the same time addictive and divine. It makes you high because of the adrenaline. You can convert that into real life and become a better worker. I have role play with people the just come from work and go into their stories. I have observed because I've been assistant of, of therapy groups with meditation for 14 years, and I have done other things as well. I have observed people don't change. Very few, nearly none, have quality for being universal. So I already know the laws. I'm going to give you the statistics, the works, how it rotates, how it moves, and you are going to prove. These statistics might change in 10 years, in 30 years, because the people's mind and wealth is going to transform. What you value today, you don't value tomorrow. But at the same time, we need to interact with people in real life because the mind alone is a crazy labyrinth, and 80% is meant to go the same thoughts. Even if you study, you're putting that, but the same mechanism is moving in the same with the same consistency. It is a pattern. It doesn't matter how much material, how much content you put on people, how much you tell them. They are very consistent pattern, and this is the nature that you cannot change. You will see when children have evolved from certain situations and scenarios, and when some have the ambition to give it all to learn because they're empty. You might see these from the lowest class. They are the most willing to learn. They have nothing to fight against. More surrender and total discipline, willing. I'm not talking about socially resented people who have been groomed to hate others, because these societies have unfortunately lived through many generations of hatred, thinking their misery is because of others. You can find this with certain groups and classes from around the world, not necessarily everywhere. And when we humble ourselves and get to see our children need us, they cannot become so arrogant because they are distant from your love. I imagine Prince George looking at his father and wondering, what's he doing? Why is not he? Why is he not with him? The one day he will know. But what about now? What about now? Why is daddy not close like a father? Only a sort of pride. What is it owning that it doesn't own now? The disgust comes from the mother, and this can tell you the disgust comes from the stomach, and the stomach is the mother. So there is no the stomach is behind the heart. It needs to be warm, and close. So the connection with the mother doesn't exist. It's like dry. And I'm not here to push anyone because this is for the interest of for everyone to look at your own self. Because you have one of the number one talents in the world generating for the next generation, and this generation can already have this connection and make it fun and play and get to like a sportsman that's been trained from childhood with direct emotion that is recognized because of himself, not because of any other reason. And brothers and sisters, each of them are unique. So they should always be together, always. Because by the time they grow up, all these judgments are going to be not really important. People are going to be sharing what matters most for them. And they're going to have another type of royal gossip that is more motivational. Yeah, it's like, but at the same time, it is pushing to be motivational. Right now is important that, and we have seen this before, how important it is for people to talk about black and white. And it doesn't matter royal or royal, what is better, what is not better, what are we in this world? Yes, no. Uh, half, no, a quarter. Just to talk about it, just that the black people are involved talking about it. Yeah, because you want it or not, it doesn't matter what's right or not, who is wrong or who is right. What matters is that people are talking about it, and some of them got there in a royal family. Yeah, and that is the beauty to see from the Spanish perspective, Chinese perspective. Yeah. So not only we see each other through internet, but there is a beauty there that somebody like a Venezuelan got married with the princess of Jordan. Of course, there's another prince heir to the throne, so the pure blood of the Jordan remains. And there is a mingling there. So that is beautiful. And people have mistakes. So we're here to teach and welcome instead of judging. That's something I used to say at work in McDonald's. Instead of judging the person who gossiping, why don't you go there and help the person and teach them, or help the person, not even teach them, just go and help the person. Yeah. What is your problem here? Yeah. So I would say, do never gossip in front of me, because I will tell your story to everyone. Be careful. We're all here working together day and night, and we everyone knows you're talking about someone. Anyone knows, doesn't matter how much degree of education you have. Fake. You might not talk about it, you not be conscious about it, because it takes full consciousness to simply watch. You don't even have to do anything about it. Just being present in your own nature. The thing is, the mouth is the connection of how we are perceiving the exterior. But it's not because others are disgusting, but within your own family, there is disgust. if your own family has disgust, you will feel disgust towards others. The thing is that you might sugarcoat it so much, and then you just have to put it on the others to put the goodness in yourself. That's old styles, old school. Very Christian also. Like, they are evil, we are holy, we're good, you're evil, we're good. So it's what brings people together and societies as well, and cultures. But and verses. But I always feel like George is George is the only member of the royal family that I have created a character in roleplay, but in science fiction. But when he was a baby, 'cause he was a gorgeous baby with his cheeks. Uh, Normally, never do that to people who are alive, because you shouldn't do characters from people who are alive. But I thought, well, it's just science fiction. He was the son of General Hooks. uh, Beautiful baby. So the all the brothers came very beautiful as well. William and Catherine, very beautiful children. Um, I have always seen Zane like it was George, because Zane also had these beautiful cheeks and this kind of. uh, so, well, you find affinity with many people and characters who are alive or are fictional. I also love Philip and the Queen Elizabeth, uh, Anne, Princess Anne, because she is very discreet. She's like, she's not there, but she's always there. she, I mean, I love Sophie too, and her husband. I mean, I also love the many years that I never had seen the news from the royals, because it's not that I am always into the royal family, but I have appreciated, like, oh, it's so nice to not know anything about them. Uh, get to know other things in life. When I was in India or other times. I really hope that they stop cutting trees to make all this yellow press, and they are cutting so many trees. Palm oil. The problem with palm oil, that is a plant that they well, it's a long story, but deforestation is a horror. That they think, oh, there's so much, doesn't matter, but then they make money from it, right? So we have to be strong and firm to believe that we can do this. And I wish I was with my children. So it's very easy for me to see what others need, because I need my children. I'm always looking into children when I go out, and I tell them some tips so they can become the best on class, and they give them more attention, because they only like them because they're cute, like a doggy companion. Yeah, yeah. Is this a companion there, a decoration? No, give them attention, teach them constantly. Fun with them. have the keys of life. The keys of life is when we're talking face to face, we're honest, we're sharing those words. That's warmth. I'm being listened of what I say. I'm not disgusted because I'm disconnected from everything. So I have to create this, like, because my family is disgusted about each other because they're only there because they have to. They only like each other because they have this image they love about themselves because they have to. And at the time there is to listen about me, I don't even have any fibers to. I'm only learning how to lie, how to act, how to think I'm different from others. But at the same time, there is no connection in my family as well. How can they have connection with me? Because it matters to conquer the world, to get all this on internet, to get all these works that are important. Yes, it's just when I look at George, I think he's mine. He is mine. He always had that since he was a baby. Is talent, and at the same time his talent to polish and nourish, because he needs more brothers and sisters around the world that are also with affinity with him, that are kings and queens, that are leaders. I mean, or they all split against. Who knows? Because now everyone is gonna claim everyone is a criminal war because of supporting this war or protecting from whatever. So you have a design where you are looking from past, present, and future constantly. Where are you putting your work? What are you doing? What are you crowning? Because you are being crowned. What are you going to give to crown? You want your children to go to Mars, to go to a space station and forget about the world and leave the world in misery with wars. So it's kind of like can be a little bit like there are no resources as in this planet Earth. We can wait and see. Just wait to see this other format of energy. Can you put the little thing in your car instead of all these batteries? And it generates that energy. Wait a little bit and see that, because rapidly it can improve if you get to target that before investing more. And to trust one another, that we can create better laws to stop these wars and better conversations. uh, there's nothing more I wish to be with my children. Ali's insane, and Debbie, get her shopping, put her in a military sport regimen. That's what I did when I brought her to New York City. Because with her family, she would be watching soap operas a lot, and they would let her eat whatever she wanted it. So I put her on a diet, and we will do sports for 4 hours, and she would get so tired. Of course, I said, "No, we're gonna get home. We're gonna get home." She would have so much fun that, but of course, the body gets very tired, right? Um, it's very strict with my daughter Debbie. So maybe she has a rebellious insight against her inner authority because her family was not of sports. My family was a sports, so that was a little battlefield. It's hard when you there is no family that is equal, so we have to negotiate. It's hard. There's always one that has more money, the other one has less, or it changes, suddenly one has more. I mean, in countries like in Venezuela, it's very easy to become rich and or lose it all. It's a wild country and very prosperous. There is money, but there is also is also wild. So I wish the best for Venezuela, my family, the beauties of natural and artificial intelligence and our relation with it as we role play and see it within our own self. Bye and enjoy